Okay, man, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Now, come on, now crank this motherfucker up.
Break it down like this.
Hello, Internet. You know that Pinguino Greco here again with another episode of Deep Listens. And today, we have played Denshattack. What does that mean? Well, Densha is the Japanese word for train, and attack is the English word for attack. And they put them together into one lovely portmanteau about a video game that asks, what if a train was a skateboard? And joining me to discuss this video game that asked this very important question, Pete Busby, how you doing?
I'm doing good. This was an interesting one. I'm not well versed in trains, but I am, a tentative train fan. So I was excited to see them get some shine.
How do you feel about the band Train?
I didn't know there was a band Train.
Yes, you do. Drops of Jupiter.
Drops of Jupiter.
Oh, I know the song Drops of Jupiter. I could not have told you who made it. They're fine.
Band Train.
Disgusting.
All right, Gino, you're going to get the same question, so prepare an answer. Gino, if I had to ask you what sea creature is the biggest asshole in the ocean? What sea creature would you pick?
So is this limited to fish, or it can be anything that lives in the sea?
Anything that lives in the sea.
I'd say orcas.
Orcas. Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I was going to say dolphins.
Dolphins. So I think there is a clear 1-2 in some order, and it's orcas and dolphins.
Oh yeah, we did it, M.
We did. This fun fact
Is that
about
the correct
orcas.
answer? Oh, okay.
In my personal opinion, it's the correct answer. So orcas, apparently, I think this is something like recently seen, but they definitely recently got it on video for the first time. Orcas will do this thing where one of them will grab a sunfish. Like, sunfish, they're giant, huge fish that barely move. They just sort of float along the surface. Terrible fish, really. But one orca will hold the sunfish while another orca rams into it full speed and basically explodes it into, I don't know, fish powder.
Jesus Christ.
And it doesn't necessarily seem to be a predation behavior. Sometimes they eat the sunfish, sometimes they don't. So it definitely seems like they're kind of just doing this because they like to.
Yeah, so the fact I knew about orcas for a while is that they seem to be one of the only animals we've observed kill for sport.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
And that checks out. This checks out. They are basically playing like paper football with a sunfish.
Yeah, they're just blowing it up. And like orcas, nothing in the ocean can touch an orca. Like they are the apex of the apex, and they are wielding it for evil.
Well, this is what happens when we put mammals in the sea.
Yeah, never should have done it.
They discover murder, and then nothing can stop them because they have the equivalent of a gun, which is a very strong brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In a lot of ways, they're the trains of the ocean.
Oh.
Unstoppable.
We got there.
They're off the rails. M, mistress of games herself, M Palladino. How you doing, M?
Hello. I'm doing well. I went into this game knowing literally nothing about it, so I was very surprised when it was on sale for the train sale, which Steam has going on. Oh, it ended today. Never mind, dear listener, you missed it. There was
Should have got on board.
Yeah, there was a sale for train games, and I was like, oh, interesting. This is, I guess, a train game. And what a train game it is. But before we talk about that, I gotta do my regular thing that I say every single time.
Every time.
I am Game Maker M all over the internet. You can play my games at itch.io/GameMakerM, the letter M. You can also read my book, which is not about trains, but it does have big robots, and there are some big robots in this game as well. And I think maybe I'll put a train in the next one. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Everything's better with trains. Cities, the wide open prairie, all better with the
Yeah.
trains.
Oh, wait. The connection actually is it does take place in a dome city, which is because everything is irradiated, which is a lie that is told in this game, but is true in actually the book I wrote. So
And no spoilers.
that's sad. They are not they are not riding trains in my book because of that.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna make a joke. Y'all can jump on board, pun intended
Okay.
or not. They're not riding trains. Are they running them?
Ah,
I'm not gonna pick that one up.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's fine. Just let that one go right by the station. Well, before that, great work on your plug that you always do every time.
Thank you.
Speaking of plugs for this show that we do every time, you can get in touch with the show, deeplistenspodcast@gmail.com. That's our email address. deeplistens.libsyn.com. That's where we host the show. deeplistenspodcast.bluesky.social. That is our social media account. And patreon.com/deeplistens. That's where you can support the show more directly. At the $1 tier, you get access to our Discord, where you can hear people you hear in your ears in the podcast. You can talk to them. The Discord. You can hear what they have to say.
I made a great Fire Emblem joke this week for all the sickos.
Yeah.
I did.
Would you like to read it?
Oh, I don't know that it would make sense being read.
Okay,
if
fine.
you check out the... I made a rare appearance in the sister podcast Discord. Off the Deep End channel for this one.
At the $3 tier, you would get access to the OG Soncast, the anime podcast that Pete, you co-host with the Redacted Brothers, Chris and Braden. What show are you watching now? Trigun still?
Yeah, I tried to talk them into One Piece this time around, but there was concern about the workload.
Yeah, that's fair.
You would be doing One Piece until you die.
Until we die for the rest of our lives. They are. I will say they're making a remake on Netflix of a show still running. Weirdly enough, but one of the main things they're fixing is the pacing. So if you never decided to get into One Piece before, this remake might be your chance.
Are they making the pacing slower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really stretching it out. Yep.
It's a live action adaptation too, which is pretty good.
This one's they have that one too. This is another animated remake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Netflix simultaneously making two different remakes of the same property
which is also
Netflix.
not finished.
Netflix coded. Yeah, it's just called The One Piece, February 2027. So not for a while.
Oh hell yeah!
So
The One Piece.
I see.
One Piece.
That's some real video games seventh sequel.
That's some Silent Hill shit. Like they're going for there.
Yeah, the Silent Hill, the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
If you were to support us on Patreon, you could post on the Discord, which might put you on the Discord report.
The Discord report. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. This week on the Discord, we have Pete's post in the Off the Deep End channel.
It's really the highlight of the week when you think about
that. Pete posted the merchant from Fire Emblem Fates. Said the only argument for capitalism I will accept. So there's
requires no explanation. We all get it. We're all laughing uproariously. Let me go ahead and like that. I'm gonna toss a laughing emoji on that real quick.
You do that. Other things in the Discord.
In the Not Safe for Work channel, did you see the man who was tossed by a bison in Yellowstone?
Yeah. I didn't watch the video, but it looks comedic. He's very high in the air.
Yeah, he broke his hip on the landing.
Yeah, I bet.
I would guess it. I mean, if you say like how high his foot got, he definitely got 20 feet of air.
Oh yeah.
I mean, bison are powerful. They don't mess around.
Yep.
Yeah, his highest point definitely got at least 15, 20 feet off the air. Horrifying stuff.
Yeah, it was less horrifying than the guy who fell off the not a balance beam, but he was doing like acrobatic
Yeah, it's not
tricks.
the parallel bars, it's the single bars, the high
Yeah.
bars.
That was frightening.
I'm not watching that.
You know,
No,
He's
you should
rushed
not
to a
watch that.
hospital. Yeah, I'm not watching that one. Thanks, CP.
Other things in the Discord disregarding that. ZP is trying to talk about Gundam and how the newer G-Cux has smartphones, but the anime that was made in 1979 has telephones, which doesn't make sense in universe, but who cares?
You're telling me
Oh,
this
yeah.
giant fighting robot teen war veterans show isn't 100% accurate?
Yep.
Also, how do you know that's not Neo Brooklyn and people are having telephones ironically?
Yep.
True.
Yeah. And then in the card game channel, the Gundam card game got a bunch of waifu cards. People were posting those. I posted a card that I saw at work today, which is Umar, which is a Umbreon, but I think in Indonesian. And I like that little guy.
Yeah, I love Umbreon.
Other things.
In the Fun Facts channel, someone posted a picture of what a baby heron looks like.
Yes,
Is it
that was
horrifying?
very
I feel like
fun.
it'd be horrifying.
Just take a look, Pete. Take a look and
looks
describe
like
what you think it is.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
What do you think of it?
It's gonna take me a second to pull it up.
Yeah, we want the baby heron. So just so you know, there's like a
juvenile.
That's not the one we mean. We mean the chick. We mean the little baby one.
That's not bad. Oh wait, that's the juvenile.
Yeah, no, you want.
Oh
Keep
God,
going.
it's so ugly. What's wrong with birds?
Yeah.
I would describe a baby heron. It looks kind of like someone dropped a wad of gum onto a barbershop floor.
I was going to say like it's like a very moldy peach that you've left in your fridge for far too long.
Gross.
And one day it grows to be a wise little bird, a wise big bird actually. Wise looking for sure. And I also posted a video of a panda, and the panda's getting up to no good in a sanctuary.
Pandas falling out of the trees, getting stuck in things.
Yeah,
they're pretty goofy, and this is why they're endangered.
Yeah, this is why they're in danger. But we find them adorable, and so we keep them around.
Oh, also, we watched Silent Hill, whatever the fuck.
Yes.
What's it called?
Yeah, a weird title for them to pick, but there's been a lot of
Return to Silent Hill.
We did, and there will be an episode coming up in the future, speaking to Jess Voidberger O'Brien about Return to Silent Hill. That movie no good. It's no good.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's
what makes you say that?
Oof. We get into it.
Film?
Listen to the episode when it comes out. I would say, first off, if you haven't seen, just look up Return to Silent Hill beard.
All right.
If you just Google that real quick and tell me what you think of the beard that they employ in this movie. It's a professional movie.
That in real time.
Yeah, that looks about right. Yep. Good beard.
Huh.
Good beard.
You might think, oh wow, that beard. We should use this in shots that are dimly lit.
No.
No. You think we can have this dude?
The glue.
Yeah, you can see the glue. It's incredible. It's incredible. Like they had this actor. They couldn't have told him to grow a beard, shoot the scenes with the beard, and then have him shave down to stubble. Like, no, we couldn't do that. No, we couldn't do that.
Henry Cavill's mustache sort of situation, but in reverse, I suppose.
Yeah.
This is what someone described as a Ron Burgundy beard from Anchorman.
Yes.
Not bad.
If you listen to that episode, I think I described it as a beard that would be on Tim and Eric.
Yeah. So that was the high point of the movie, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I would say, just a little summary, a little tease. What if someone played Silent Hill 2 or read a synopsis of Silent Hill 2 and didn't understand any of it? Just didn't understand what it was about, what the themes were, what the plot was, just any of it. And then they made a movie that.
So it is supposed to be Silent Hill 2.
Oh, it is definitely supposed to be Silent Hill 2.
The intention was Silent Hill 2.
Yes. But unfortunately, made by someone who completely missed the point of the game. Like, on a fundamental level, like, just didn't understand what the plot was. Messes up things that happen in the game, like in ways that fundamentally alter the plot line. Which is kind of tough because that's kind of like the whole thing, you know? Like, that's one of the big things about Silent Hill 2 is the plot. So yeah, if you were to add new elements and change characters and their personalities and motivations and identities, it would really fuck with that whole thing. And that's what they did. So listen to that episode if you want to hear Braden, myself, and Jess kind of get into why it's so fucked. But boy, it's one of the worst movies I've seen in a good long while. And I watched Transylvania 65000 this year.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh, I discussed it a little bit on that show. It's a movie starring Jeff Goldblum that was filmed in Yugoslavia because General Motors had money trapped in Yugoslavia that they needed to get out. And so they used the money in, the old Soviet bloc so that they could make a movie that they can then sell tickets to basically money launder their money out of the USSR.
This is very Pepsi Navy coded.
It's a hell of a thing.
Pepsi Navy coded?
Oh, I've used that as a fun fact in the past.
Well, repeat it for people who don't remember.
Oh, I got to look up all the facts. Okay, so here's the AI summary. Oh, you know what? I refuse to do that. I'm going to go to history.com. Here's the title.
Never going to get to this game.
We will in a minute, I swear.
Pepsi's Cold War trade with the USSR. Cola for ... submarines? So yeah, Pepsi struck a deal with the Soviet Union to trade its cola for warships and then sold the warships almost immediately. But for a time, Pepsi had the 7th largest navy in the world.
That's amazing.
What the fuck? Okay.
And I was wrong.
Believe that.
It wasn't GM, it was Dow Chemical.
That's even worse somehow.
That needed to make a movie so that they could get some of their money out of Yugoslavia.
Let's see. Fascinating. The world is a magical place.
It is. I'm putting the link so you can see it, in voice to text. But it's a heck of a film. Speaking of heck of a thing, not a film in this case, but instead a video game, Denshattack, the video game that we played this week. I picked it. I'm gonna say what this thing is.
Do it.
Denshattack is an arcade, I guess, racing trick game. It's kind of a little bit
for trains.
It's Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam for trains. It's kind of like an auto runner in some ways. Like I think there was a Sonic downhill racing game.
Yep.
Gino, you totally bit me, man.
Oh, sorry.
Well, my point, I wasn't even going to say the Sonic downhill racing game. I was going to say I think this is a dev who saw that one 3D Sonic level with the whale and was like, this is the only good part of this game. I'm going to build a whole thing that's this.
Yeah, there was a Sonic game that was all just auto running and you just react to stuff that is coming at you. This is kind of a spiritual successor to that game or Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. It also has a heavy trick system that is similar to Tony Hawk. Its art style, I would say, is very Jet Set Radio Future and Jet Set Radio, two great Sega Genesis games. This game is like a Sega Genesis game that got lost for 20 years.
I was going to say it's very Crazy Taxi coded.
Yes,
Like-
also a Sega Genesis game.
Yeah, the same colors, the same like stuff just flying around the screen, people talking in the background, the same vibe too, really, like a sort of insouciance to it. It very much reminded me of my very old school days playing Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, Crazy Taxi. Do you like Samba de Amigo? Do you like Sonic Adventure? Do you like Jet Set Radio? How about Power Stone? All of these things and more are kind of Denshattack. The way that you play, you are controlling a train. You are driven by Emmy, who is your main protagonist. She is a ramen delivery girl who gets pulled into the illicit world of Denshattack, which is basically like driving trains but cool in a post-apocalyptic Japan.
Yeah, it's like street racing, but
Yeah.
in addition to speed, you're also trying to do rad tricks.
Rad tricks and
Mhm.
disrupt the man, disobey authority. And you are on these tracks that are kind of rolling through the outskirts of Japan outside of these domed cities. Like there's law and order inside these domed cities, but there are people on the outskirts, on the margins, who are trying to make cool art and do cool train driving outside the cities, and you are one of those people. And so the gameplay, you're riding the train, and the train, obviously, it moves itself for the most part. You are just reacting to the track in a lot of ways. You're jumping, you are braking so that you don't fly off the rails. You are getting an increasing number of moves and maneuvers, and you're also doing sick tricks. So when I say your train is a skateboard, I mean like you're doing ollies and nollies and manuals and impossibles. Like a bunch of the tricks are quite literally just skateboard tricks. You're grinding and doing all sorts of cool stuff like that. So first thing is that jumped out to me playing this game, other than the look, which we will definitely go over, is the control scheme. Pete, how did you find just figuring out how to play this game?
It gives you good tutorials, and one thing I noticed too, sort of sidestepping your question just slightly, Gino, is the pace of the rollout. Like it does a good job giving you one mechanic at a time, giving you a few sections to practice that mechanic before it introduces the next one. So while there's a lot of stuff you need to do with your train and a lot of stuff you need to do very quickly, I do think it gives you time to learn each one as they're introduced.
For sure. Em, did you have a similar experience?
Yeah. So to unsidestep your question, to step back in the train.
Get back
of
on
your
track, if
question.
you will. Yeah.
Exactly. So basically, what you're doing is mostly with the triggers on the controller. In order to brake, you're using your left trigger, and if you want to jump, you use your right trigger. And jumping is basically how you're going to do all your tricks. And then you move like the right stick to actually do your tricks, and the left stick is to go
Choose directions or change
choose
the
directions.
rails.
Yes. And for the most part, I didn't have trouble with it. It, like Pete said, introduces you very gradually to each new mechanic. So if you're going to do like wall riding, there's going to be a section for training wall riding, and then in future levels, like in that chapter, it'll have a bunch of spots where you can use it. That's the one that I was particularly bad at still. I mostly mess that up because I get my fingers confused, and if you hit both triggers, you slam down. So while I'm trying to dismount, sometimes I just go sailing off into the into the skybox. But other than that, it's very reactive. It's very like it feels good to do. We talk a lot about game juice on this podcast. It's kind of become a meme at this point. This game's got a lot of juice to it.
It's bursting.
It is bursting with juices. Put that on the box.
Deep listen says bursting with juices.
Yeah. Certified juicy. You heard it here first.
Would you
Mhm.
would you say this game is sort of like this is a thought I just had, so feel free to say no. It's sort of like the apotheosis of a QuickTime event. Like it's the most,
Mhm.
and I mean this genuinely as a compliment. It's the most entertaining QuickTime event I've ever participated in.
I think
Sure.
there's more agency
Okay,
than a quick time event because you do
Mhm.
it has branching paths in
true.
levels. Like you can go on not just like there are three rails side by side. Sometimes there's a rail that will kind of go off onto a shortcut. You'll eventually get a mechanic that lets you go into the zone, and when you're in the zone, you see rainbow train tracks all over the place that you can take and just ride into the air, essentially. And when you do that, like there's usually entire like other sections of the level you can't see unless you get into the zone in time. Um, and then the tricks, you don't have to do tricks a lot of the time, but the game is a lot more fun and stylish and cool when you do. So I think to your point, like there are some sections where you just have to do what it asks you to, right? Like it is kind of like a quick time event, right? Like if you don't break when you're on a turn, you will just die. If you don't jump over like a sign that's going to dead end you, you're going to die. But there are enough times where like sometimes I was going to fall off a track, and instead of braking, I jumped, and it ended up with me landing on another part of the track past the turn. You know,
Mhm.
and those sorts of split second decisions um, can make you feel like you're being creative and authoring your own experience in a way that I think QuickTime events don't necessarily allow.
Yeah, yeah. The
So
game
you're
is too.
saying it is a visual novel approach to. Uh-huh. I understand
See,
completely.
see.
Say no more.
The game is also, which I appreciated, very forgiving on
Mhm.
your deaths, or I guess crashes, so to speak.
Mhm.
Like they'll reset you back a few seconds and just let you try again. I don't know that I ever died enough to see if like eventually they're just all right, you're terrible, never mind, and force you to quit.
I
Not that
can
I saw.
confirm they do not.
Yeah, the quick load on this game when you crash is very, very fast. So
Yes.
like
Mhm.
even if you crash, it'll take you right back, usually like you said, a few seconds earlier, and it loads almost instantaneously, which
Mhm.
I think just keeps the momentum up.
Mhm.
And this is a game that just the maintaining momentum and staying in the flow is so key to what makes this game stand out. That I feel like that load time might be some of the most important elements of the game. You
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
um, when did you give up on getting gold scores?
Immediately.
I uh I started seeing some of the dares, which are basically
Yeah.
optional objectives you have to complete. And just from seeing the dares, I knew that that would take multiple runs that I wasn't interested in investing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw that well, there's a dare on every single track that you run to have a no crash run, basically. And I was like, maybe this time will be the time that I do it. And I literally never had a perfect run. Uh, so I was like also playing this in one fell swoop last night. Uh, and I was like, I don't really have time to worry about getting a good grade on these because I just want to see the story. And it does not penalize you for not getting a gold star every track. So I took it as maybe I'll come back to it later. Which the game, you can go back and you can replay levels as much as you want. It's very forgiving in that regard, and the levels are only like, I don't know, 5 minutes. So
Sure.
if you want to just grind it out, you could keep doing it. Um, get really good at one particular track at a time. There are ways to go about it. You're also graded on like your score as you're getting like doing tricks and getting points, and your time. So you might get a really high score, but your time is bad because you're spending all your time doing tricks. You're still gonna get a bronze. So it's you gotta find the balance there. And I immediately was like, I'm just gonna get to the end of it.
Yeah, I tried for the first hour, I think. I tried to get golds on like the first 2 or 3 levels. And then I realized, oh no, I'm never going to finish this game if I play this way. And
Right.
also, you eventually unlock different trains.
Mm-hmm.
And those other trains, some of them are just more conducive for some of the stuff you need to do. Like some of them help with your score multiplier in different contexts. Some of them give you extra safety for sections that have a lot of turns or have a lot of wall rides and stuff like that. So when those sorts of sections came up, I was like, okay, I should probably just come back to this when I have a train that kind of rigs things to give me a little bit more leeway here, instead of just ramming my head against the wall with the very first train.
Yeah. The first train you get doesn't have any special abilities. But then like chapter 4, I think you get new trains, maybe 3. And I found the one that I liked the most was the one that like increased trick time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I could just like chain tricks pretty quickly.
Oh, like increased combo time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I use that for like 90% of the tracks. Um,
I actually liked the
yeah.
one. I liked the one that increased trick speed. You could spin
Mm-hmm.
faster.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, and some of those
Yeah.
trains, like there are some dares that say things like chain 10 tricks in a row, like or
Right.
like 5 tricks in a row when you're in the air. And if you don't have that increased movement speed, you're probably just not going to be able to execute the tricks fast enough, even if
Mhm.
your thumbs are good enough. Your train
Right.
isn't.
Did you
Um,
like the options for trains, or was it too many?
I liked it. I mean, I didn't use most of them. I
Right.
used there was a train that let you get in the zone faster. I liked using that to
Mm.
just like clear levels because I wanted to get in the zone and then find any there were usually collectibles on the rainbow
Right.
roads a lot of time. So I liked having that one. There was one train that made it so it was very hard for you to crash when you were grinding because there's rail grinds in this game. Like mechanically, there's a lot of stuff you can do. So having the trains that kind of lined up with some of the asks was useful. And then there was a train that like increased your combo multiplier, and then it's all the trains have trade-offs. Like there'll be a increased multiplier, but if you crash, you lose points, or things like that. There's one that's you can't fall off a rail grind, but you get reduced points from doing rail grinds. So like with those trade-offs, I really liked using the combo boosting train when it was just a score attack level, because the combos add to your score a whole lot.
Yeah.
Right.
I also, I mean, beyond just the performance things, Gina, I think you covered those in enough depth. I very much liked the aesthetic options you get to.
Oh yeah.
You can modify all of your trains with stickers. Another
Mhm.
sort. It's basically graffiti. You're basically graffitiing your train. Like my favorite part, or one of my favorite parts of all the Tony Hawk games, was always tricking out my deck, getting new decks. So I was like, ooh, let me make my train a full expression of my individuality in a way that I've never once cared about doing with an avatar.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I like there are multiple color schemes for each train. There's also multiple color layouts for each train. So I think it's usually 3 or 4 color schemes and then 3 layouts, and then you have a stable of stickers you can use. So all of that just allows you to have a lot of personality to each train. Um, Pete, what was your favorite train?
In terms of like
Actually using
like
it.
performance, yeah, like I said, my favorite was the I think it's just called the Trickster. Like I said, it lets you pop off tricks faster. You can spin better. But the I'm pretty sure if I remember right, the drawback was worse manual balance. Manuals are like very useful for comboing things together, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, and And this game just has so much going on too. Like there's reasons, compelling reasons to use different trains, which I appreciated, not just aesthetics or, And also you can get through the game with any train. That's another nice thing. Like there's no forcing you to use a certain train to get through a level or something. It's all just to make things easier in one way or another.
Did y'all? I just like while we're on sort of like a style thing, like the backgrounds, pretty detailed. Like there's a lot going on.
Oh yeah.
Things are always moving. Things are always jumping around. Did you feel like you were able to sort of give the backgrounds the attention they might want and play the game at the same time? I felt like I was constantly missing things that just sort of like streamed past my eyeballs and I couldn't look at.
You go first.
It goes really fast.
Sure does.
You kind of just have to like accept you're not gonna see everything, and like if you are just going through the level, usually there's not like, I mean, there's important stuff. Like sometimes you gotta honk at certain places, but there's like an icon that pops up for that. So like you don't have to know what's going on. It would be nice if you could. There's a lot to look at, so it's hard to fully pay attention as you're going through things. But the stuff that I did see, I thought was pretty good.
I kind of wish this game had a replay mode.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of games like this that are very stylish where after you've executed the level or executed something, you can watch your playthrough back.
That's fun.
I think this game would benefit from a replay mode, just for that very reason, Pete. Like I think this is a game that, for as fun as it is to play, to watch someone else play it is equally as fun. And I feel like this is, if I was, young enough to just have play dates still, I feel like this would be a really fun game to like be passing and playing with a friend. Like,
quick runs, cool stuff to look at. Yeah, it would definitely work.
And it also, like, this game, for as frenetic and fast as it is, it's very playable. Like you can get through these levels, even though it looks like, to an onlooker, the game looks impossible with everything it's asking you to do and how fast it's asking you to do it. And I feel like just getting to be a spectator would be really fun for this game. Because I definitely could not process everything that was going on screen at all times. I could process the things that were gameplay relevant, which speaks to how well crafted this game is. Like there's icons that pop up when you need to do an activity, some sort of action, and they pop up with enough advanced notice that you usually can react. The game also does some slowdown when there are triggers for you to hit, so that you do not just fly off the rails because it's moving too fast. Like it'll slow down slightly when you need to honk. It'll slow down slightly when you need to hit both triggers and slam your train to the ground to avoid crashing into something. It'll slow down slightly with turns. So a lot of that stuff I think was very helpful and forgiving. It just showed a ton of tuning. Like I could see a less polished game by a less veteran game maker just throwing you to the wolves on how fast, or just, I don't know, leading you into oncoming traffic a lot of times. And this game doesn't do that for the most part. The game, let me just call out the makers of the game. This was made by Undercoders. They're a small indie studio based out of Barcelona, Spain. And they have a ton of games under their belt. First mobile, and now they're doing a lot of console and PC independent games. And you can see that they've just made a lot of games. There's a lot of polish here. The game controls really well. It's symbols, for as busy as the game is, it still manages to communicate things quickly. And that's really hard. That's a really hard trade-off to make. Usually games lose that stuff one way or another. Were either of you surprised that this game was made in Spain and not Japan?
Yes.
Oh, I just assumed it was American with how much it seemed to love Japan.
This game is very it's like based in Japan. Everyone is like a Japanese like gang it's very in Japanese culture. So I think if it was from Japan, uh, it probably would not be so on the nose. Uh, so that's wild. Why is it so Japanese?
'Cause it's a Dreamcast game, a long lost
Okay,
Dreamcast
sure.
game.
All right, there's that. But I mean, wasn't so Jet Set Radio was a Japanese game
Mhm.
for, was it the Dreamcast or was it the PlayStation?
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast. Uh, but that also feels like it's not in Japan, you know?
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe maybe that's me.
it's fair. I mean, you know what? I have not actually played Jet Set Radio. I have enjoyed watching Jet Set Radio or listening to music from Jet Set Radio, but I have not actually played Jet Set Radio because I hear it doesn't play like the best. Um, but I think,
Faded.
yeah, I think this game, it's very much a love letter to a specific console and a specific aesthetic from the late 90s, early 2000s. Sonically, it is that. I mean, the music, just so much drum and bass, so sample heavy. It's very clearly pulling from the sound of Jet Set Radio and games around that era. I mean, that's, they pulled in Mello, whose music you might be familiar with from the beginning of this show and the end of this show. He's on this soundtrack. He's got 5 levels that he's got music for, and just the general aesthetic is so clearly influenced by the soundtrack of Jet Set Radio, and it just does so much. It does so much to make you appreciate playing this game. Like, the style just oozes out of this game. Have either of you ever played Jet Set Radio?
No, I never have.
Not in like 20 years. When did that Jet Set Radio release? Yeah, it came out in 2000. And I probably played it a couple years after that. So not in a million years.
Yeah, because this game sounds like a Hideki Naganuma joint for sure.
Yeah. It's all the kids who grew up on Jet Set Radio and what were the other ones? All the other ones. Tony Hawk. They're like, let's just take all the best things from that, put it into this one. And that included the music.
For sure. And the trick system is very much like Skate. Like you're doing all right thumbstick tricks for your train. Did you appreciate any of the homage levels that kind of called out? Did you catch any homage levels, Pete, that called back to like the games that this game is kind of referencing?
I'm trying to think now if I did. I don't recall any like direct Tony Hawk ones. But like my Tony Hawk heyday was like the Tony Hawk Underground. And I think this like has more of the like pre-thug aesthetic.
So the Tony Hawk level, or the thing that I think is a Tony Hawk homage, you could tell me if I'm right. The first trick level, which you get 2 minutes to just get as high of a score as you possibly can, is in a airport. So you're doing tricks on airplanes and hangars and stuff like that, and that just reminded me of one of the early levels in Tony Hawk 2, Pro Skater 2, the hangar.
Oh shit! I sure remember that. I played a lot of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I don't remember that at all. I mean, there is one level that's like literally a skate park.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there's half pipes in it. It's a cool level.
Yeah, for sure. Em, did you notice any?
No. I'm not even gonna pretend I did.
There is once like a whale swallowed you.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a Sonic thing.
Yep.
Like that's what made me think of the Sonic level.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. That was that, and even the very first level when you're like flying over the Easter Island heads. That made me just feel very much like I was playing Sonic Adventure.
It's that game too where you play a shark.
Echo the Dolphin?
I thought there was another one where you're an actual shark. Yeah, there's a level
He-Man?
in this where like a
Game
shark
where
swallows
you
you
play
and you
a
control.
shark.
A shark swallows you and you get to control the shark for a little while.
Yeah, that's true. That section's really cool. I mean, all the sections where you get to control things that aren't just your train are great. Like when you're riding a Ferris wheel. That's really cool. Doing tricks on a Ferris wheel as it's rolling down a countryside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, this game also had a little of Katamari to me
Mm-hmm.
as well. You don't like pick stuff up, but there's a lot of like big things rolling that you're just sort of like contending with for a while.
there is actually a section later in the game where you're rolling a big snowball,
Nice.
and it gets bigger and bigger as you crash into more snow.
Oh, perfect. So there's literal
That's
Katamaris.
fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of sections that just reminded me of like rail grinding in a Sonic game or a Sonic Adventure game. There's a literal skateboard section where you're riding a skateboard on your train. Your train is riding a skateboard. That's very good. A whole lot of stuff like that. I mean, there's a bunch of kaiju levels as well where you're dealing with monsters and doing basic gameplay. Wow, there are monsters around, and it's almost like it feels more platformery in those sections too. It's cool.
This game very much like wears its influences on its sleeve, but it's doing like cool stuff with them. Like
For
it's
sure.
not like just like. I mean, the thing I hated about Ready Player One, it's not just like throwing stuff in there just to throw it in.
No.
It's not looking into the camera to be like.
Did you catch that?
You remember? Do you remember Tony Hawk? Do you
You like
remember Jet Set Radio?
It's elevating those influences in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite mechanic, M?
Oh boy. Let's see. Let me think about all the mechanics really quick.
Wait, I got one M if you want me to jump in while
Okay.
you're thinking.
Go for it.
My favorite, not super gameplay consequential, but I loved ground pounding my train.
Mm-hmm.
Like at various points on the track, it behooves you to just slam into the ground as quickly as possible, and I always enjoy doing that.
Mm-hmm. Later on, you get the ability to like, you kind of do a trick in a air thingy, and you get to fly up a little bit.
You ride the sacred winds.
Yeah, which is neat. You get the ability to go underwater at one point.
Yeah.
You can ride monorails. They really like take the like we have to do tricks on a train. And they're like, well, what else can we do?
Yeah. This game embraces its silly, like the very silliness of being like, what if you could kick flip a train? Let's be as silly as we possibly can.
Yeah, I like the double rail grind is pretty good.
Uh-huh.
You can grind two rails at once, sideways.
Mm-hmm. Multi-track drifting. That's a meme that Oh, did you think about Initial D at all while you were playing this game?
No.
Because
like the One Piece Initial D?
What? No.
Oh, sorry.
The anime from the 90s, I think. Maybe the 80s even. Where it's just a racing anime. And the guy like this is like where drifting came into the like cultural parlance or whatever. Because he was always doing drifts and shit. And I was thinking about that anime all the time. I don't know. Maybe that's not as well known as I thought.
I've heard of Initial D, but have not watched Initial D.
I thought of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Yes, that too. That's where it really like became pretty popular. I don't think anyone knew what drifting was before that.
For Tokyo Drift, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, we didn't know cars could do such things.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't think you got to this mechanic, but eventually you get the ability to reverse gravity.
What?
And ride rails that are on the ceiling.
No.
Oh hell
That's too much. I knew it was gonna have more stuff. Like I feel like every chapter they introduce something new, maybe more things than just one. And I was like, I don't know where we go from like where I saw we just got multi-track drifting, and I thought I was pretty close to the end at that point.
You're gonna get a magnetic unit that lets you
What the fuck?
magnetize.
Well, at
to
least
Yeah,
it's grounded
okay.
in the science, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you run out of rails
If you run out
on
of
the
magnetism.
on the ceiling, no, you don't run out of magnetism. You fly up into the sky until you die.
Oh no!
That's way better.
It's way funnier.
Now I gotta
But yeah,
be worried about this too.
that's pretty good. I really like there's some ice levels where you're at that point not even rolling
Not even on
on
tracks.
tracks anymore. And your tricks, instead of like tricking normally, you basically it's kind of like a dash to the left and right, and you do a sick 360 as you are kind of moving side to side with
Oh,
tricks,
sort of
which
like
is cool.
the wall grinds
Mm.
Yeah. And kind of like the wall grinds,
or
except
the
they
tunnel
do a little
runs.
bit more like avoiding obstacles. They
Okay.
cover more space. I also like when you get off of the rails in pipes, and then you can just go full 360 around these pipes. That's really fun. Yeah, like they just do so much with the central premise. Every world, and there's 9 worlds in total. Every one of them introduces a new mechanic and then kind of forces you to master it before you get to move on to the next world. And it's just pure game design, like just good fundamentals. To your point earlier, Pete, like they teach you a new mechanic, they make sure you get it, and then they give you kind of high level execution of that thing, whatever it is.
Yeah, this is a game where like they came up with a great idea off the rip, where it's just like, all right, Tony Hawk but trains. That's an incredible elevator pitch. And then they just like built it out from there. Like they could have just stopped and been like, we'll just build a couple skate parks. But they definitely added a lot of very cool other stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of cool other stuff, let's get on track and talk about the story. What did you think, Em, about the story, how it starts out, and kind of the first few worlds?
So I want to talk about how it starts like immediately, because right off the bat it goes like there has been a climate disaster, and the whole world has gotten into giant domes in order to survive, and it's really bad outside. But we're not going to worry about that because we're going to be outside the domes, dealing with all the people who are still out there, which is a fascinating world building premise. And then throughout the game, you are like going through basically Japan from bottom to top, and disrupting everything along the way. There's a corporation called Miraido. What does Miraido mean? Because
It's
is
an
it like
abbreviation of Miraidon, the electric dragon
yes,
Pokemon.
of course, yeah. I think it's like mole. It's something to do with moles, I believe. And their mascot is like a little mole guy. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. Someone who speaks Japanese, please correct me. I thought that was the
We don't fact check much on the podcast.
Yeah, it is Miraido, and I don't think it's just a corporate name. I don't know that it's a word necessarily.
Okay.
I don't speak enough Japanese, but they have a mole mascot.
Yeah. And there's like little news segments where the mascot will be like, Denshattackers are terrorists.
Yeah, I caught that one too.
Yeah, it's very Jet Set Radio. There are graffiti gangs terrorizing the city with their graffiti and tricks. They're too sick.
They're just too radical.
If you ever see a Denshattacker, report them to the police.
How would you,
basically.
What, you just see a
And
train
it is
kickflip
like
through the sky?
Yeah.
I just put a stop to
gangs
this.
that you're dealing with. Like the first gang you run into are all oh man, what is the term? I think it's Gyaru.
Karyus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Mm-hmm.
girls with blonde hair and tan skin and discolored lips as well,
Mm-hmm.
who are high fashion from like the 90s.
Their leader is my favorite. Also, as you beat the gangs, they all like join your crew, the leaders.
At least for the first half, it is like relentlessly
Yes,
positive.
and she's
Mhm.
great. She's got a big mech, a
Yep.
big schoolgirl mech. There's a baseball gang.
Mhm.
All the Warriors. There's the Baseball Furies, basically.
Yep.
There's a
There's a
punk.
rockabilly
There's like
gang.
a rockabilly gang.
Yep.
There's a biker gang, but the main dude is dressed like Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho. Trying to think the other
It's a
gang.
show.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's great. There's a Yakuza group eventually. There's a group that is all obsessed with idol culture, like band culture.
Yeah, we're hitting a lot of. I don't know if
Who
you
am I
call them
forgetting here?
stereotypes. We're hitting a lot of Japanese
Rockabilly's.
subcultures.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a police gang, like
Yes.
some posers who were not good enough at Denshattack, so they went corporate, basically.
Mhm.
And they suck. And then you've got a fanzine that one of the characters is making. So like some of the collectibles, you can unlock more stickers, you can unlock more trains, you can unlock fanzine articles, basically, that tell you the history of the area you're in Japan, some cultural facts about it, some facts about the other Denshattackers you were racing against and their gang and their history. And then they just look really cool. Did you enjoy the fanzines, Pete?
I did. I'm always on the lookout for good copy, and the fanzines produce some solid copy. It also fit in with the sort of like relentlessly positive first half. Like everybody's always trying to help each other out. All the gangs join up. They're all friends. I think my only issue was maybe if the game was too woke. Like there were a lot of strong female protagonists, and that just makes me uncomfortable. You know?
Or
Did
just
you like all the representation?
No, I hated
Did
that.
you-
I was like, why aren't there more white men in this game based in
Yes.
Japan?
You can't say that. People are going to take it out of
That's
context.
true. I'm to be clear, being facetious, everybody.
do not clip.
I don't
Do not
actually
clip.
mean any of that.
Yeah, I think the fanzines are a great way to like get the lore dump that you probably would have wanted in like if you were playing another game, it would just be like a glossary or something.
Yeah, you'd have to
Or-
read, 300 weapon descriptions scattered
Right.
throughout the whole game to cite, the most annoying possible version I could think of.
Yep. Yeah, you just got your appendix and you gotta go through to figure out like who this character is and why they're important. But having it be a fanzine where you have to kind of like put it together yourself was very compelling, I think. And it incentivizes you to go back to other levels and kind of like play through again. Like maybe find some secrets that you didn't find the first time around. It's good. I think it's a good way to do it. Like that was one of the reasons why I was like, oh, now I have to actually get good at this game because I want to read the the lore dumps.
Yeah. It's also very early 2000s that it's a fanzine.
Right.
True. This might be my own sort of personal preoccupations as a former student of science fiction, but I found myself wondering if this was a cyberpunk coded game. Now, I have my reasoning for and against, but I don't want to influence y'all. So let me throw it open to the podcast. Do you think Denshattack is a cyberpunk game?
Yes.
I'm going to say yes, except instead of hacking, you're hacking with trains. Instead of lines of code, they're lines of rails that you're going to grind.
There's got to be a subgenre that's cyberpunk, but also uh Fast and the Furious. That's like the intersection of the Venn diagram that we're seeing here. But I don't know what I would call that. It's definitely dystopian.
Oh yeah. So
Mhm.
I would say it is cyberpunk. I would agree with y'all. So like the hallmarks of cyberpunk are usually dystopian future. Things aren't going great. Some very sort of like haves, have-nots sort of structure set up. There's always some sort of like all-powerful corporation that you're fighting against. And Gino, you made the point. Usually it's hacking, right? But I think the larger, like, if we can abstract that premise a little bit, it's co-opting technology for your own purposes. So in this case, instead of co-opting cyberspace, they're co-opting train tracks, which in a lot of ways are like the internet, the trains.
Yeah, it's a series of tubes.
Yeah.
What is a train track if not a series of tubes?
My only issue with this game, in terms of like whether or not is it cyberpunk, is more aesthetic than thematic. I guess they're sort of intertwined. But when you think sort of cyberpunk, it's very much sort of like Blade Runner coded. Things are very gritty. They're very dark. They're very grim. Usually they're kind of wet too, for whatever weird reason. This game, very much not that. Like it's
I
very
would have said damp.
damp. Yeah, perfect. It's very what was the Louisiana game we played?
Norco.
Norco.
Yeah.
Like Norco is a much more sort of cyberpunk aesthetic, whereas this one's very bright, very bubbly, very fun. And that's my biggest hesitation in saying, like in the same way that I asked, I think a couple weeks ago, whether Dark Souls games can be fun, can Cyberpunk be fun in that way?
Yeah, and I think that this game is more. It leans more cyberpunk than like Jet Set Radio necessarily, because the thing you're up against. You want spoilers for the story?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so you guys didn't get far enough and get the big reveal.
Far enough.
Was that?
I got like 7 chapters in. How far do I have to go?
There's 9 chapters, and I think the big
God
reveal is
damn
like
it.
chapter 8 or 9.
All right.
But it turns out Morido, the evil corporation, it's one machine, it's one computer that is running it. There's no people anymore.
Oh. That's
so
pretty cyberpunk, actually. That's very Neuromancer.
Mole mascot that you're seeing, that is the machine.
God.
Oh, that is.
Oh my God.
Morido?
Yeah.
Dang.
That is it. And so when you get to the end of the game, it's like, well, we've defeated the machine. Like you go in and you smash up their base, and there's no one there, and you're like, what the heck? There's no one here. We smashed their base, but there was no one to stop. And then the robot mole is like, of course there's no one to stop. My brain is on the moon.
Oh,
that's a great twist.
I will simply continue to harass you from the moon. And so you then launch all of your trains to the moon.
That has to be a Fast and Furious reference.
As a train. So like all of the gangs that you've defeated, all of their cars ride behind yours in an actual train. And you basically go on the Rainbow Road from like Mario Kart. Like it's a full-on rainbow road through the sky on the way to the moon. And then you blow up the moon to defeat
it, brother.
Hell
yeah.
Can I rectify one of my previous statements?
Yep.
So I was wondering what Miraido translated to. In Japanese, it is a combination of future, which is Mirai, and Do is pathway, or it could mean corporation. So there's a double meaning there.
Yeah.
So they are the path to the future, which is why they're train obsessed.
Yeah, and they made the VAC train, which is basically like a fancy Shinkansen that lets you get from one dome to another. And your goal in this game at first is to drive the vac train because it's the fastest train in the world, and Emmy wants to go fast. And eventually, it is to defeat the vac train so that people are able to get off of the rails and make their own paths. You see, instead of following the path that Morido has set for them, they never leave the dome cities.
I wonder, like, in what order this game came up with stuff. Because, like, did they pick Japan because they love Japan, and then they're like, well, what's something Japan has, like, does better than anybody else? Like, trains is a very obvious answer. Or were they like,
answer some of this?
Can we?
So in the Wikipedia entry under development,
You can see I did not do my research.
I have it in front of me. According to director David Xiaomandru, the idea of Denshattack was first perceived when he and his team were using a Japanese train toy, thinking about if it could perform tricks like a skateboard. So
Okay. So it sort of started with the trains.
So it started with train and then immediately Japanese train.
Well, because you could never do this in America. Like, it'd be one track through the, like, Nevada desert, and it would just go in a straight
we
line.
don't have enough trains.
Amtrak would charge you $30,000 to get on it. It would never work.
That's true. That's true. It'd just be freight, and you'd be stuck behind a freight train for a while. So to be fair, this game doesn't stick to train tracks by the end of it. You're grinding rails up buildings and stuff like that.
To the moon.
Yep.
Yeah, you end up flying to the moon.
Wait, that's a worth asking. Are there train tracks on the moon?
Yes, you go through there are train tracks through the evil corporate computer brain.
Okay. So they put tracks up there.
You grind through the corporate computer brain, destroying its structural supports until it explodes.
Can I return to a previous question?
Yes.
So Pete, you were wondering if this was Cyberpunk.
Yes.
I would like to pose that it is actually a different subgenre. I'm going to say this is Hopepunk.
Ooh, arcane. I love it.
Yeah. So this was coined in 2017, so it's fairly new. It is the opposite of grimdark. The fantasy author Alexandra Rowland proposed it in a Tumblr post.
Where all culture originates.
Was it a peer-reviewed Tumblr post?
It received over 50,000 comments, so I would say yes. But basically, Hopepunk is like if there was actually like optimism in the cyberpunk future.
Okay.
So it's rebellion through caring, not naive coziness. Characters refuse to surrender or despair.
Yeah, it fits.
Yeah, I think that's what I would say.
Yes, I think that is a good way to coin this. And I think that that's also, some of the games that inspired this, rebellion, but productive rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are graffitiing buildings because people need to be given hope that there's still culture that isn't controlled by Morido, right? Like you're breaking the domes because they've put domes around deer and you want to set them free. You're doing all sorts of stuff like that to kind of remind people of culture and of freedom and expression.
Yeah. And it's ultimately productive.
Yes.
Like a lot of Cyberpunk ends with it's just like, well, can't really take down the
we can do about it. Yeah.
No, this game is like, no, you and your friends are going to fly to space to defeat this evil corporation if that's what it takes. Which makes me think that this game is a great companion piece to Skate Story, which we played earlier this year. Both of which are about destroying the moon, fundamentally.
Yep. If you really break it down, yeah.
And they are both about skateboarding and doing cool tricks while awesome music plays. This game feels in many ways like a love letter to Japan as seen through the Sega Dreamcast. That game is kind of a love letter to New York as seen through an indie developer. But yeah, I think these two games are going to fight a lot in our game of the year.
Yeah.
Soundtrack, aesthetic stuff, like a lot of overlap.
Yeah, this is a very pretty game.
It is.
Like you appreciate that prettiness more on like YouTube clips, but like still very pretty.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
so good. And the gameplay flows into that expressiveness of the music and expressiveness of the art. And if you want to hear about how some of this expressive music gets made, I'm going to have an interview coming up soon with Mello about his work on this game. So check that out. I did a plug.
Good job.
I did it.
Good plug-in.
Like a real podcaster.
Like a real podcaster. Right? Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about Denshattack, Pete?
I don't think so. It really made me appreciate trains in a new way.
Yeah.
If more trains kickflipped, I think we'd have high-speed rail in this country.
Do you think we could ever get to the point where we could have Denshattack in real life?
Lord, no.
No, expand your mind, Pete.
That's true.
Okay?
I'm being very provincial.
Get Hopepunk.
You just gotta believe that the train can like kickflip and
Put hydraulics on this train.
My lack of belief that's been holding us back this whole time.
Yeah. If only Pete had believed harder.
Look, if we can put hydraulics on cars, we can put hydraulics on trains.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of train tracks that are not being used right now. I'll tell you what.
I wanted to ask, what do you... So there are like different modes to this game. There's like sometimes you have to do like jobs in around town. So you go to 3 different places. Sometimes you're just doing like a bunch of tricks and you have to get a bunch of points. Sometimes you're doing a race. Did you like any of the modes more than others?
I really liked the combat modes.
When
you had to like time your tricks to hit baseballs back at the giant baseball mech.
Yeah. Gino, what do you think?
I really enjoyed the score attack levels because I just felt like they were pure expressions of trick. And that was the part I enjoyed the most. And they're also time limited. Like you were very focused in those levels.
Yeah. You do tricks for 2 minutes and there's no going over it.
Oh, there is. If you're in the middle of a chain, you can hit overtime.
Yep. I wanted to say that most of the game I took pretty casually, but the races, usually you have to really be on your game in order to score in the top 3 is usually what they want from you. So the level where I like really started to get serious was when there's like a race right after you learn how to like do your air move. And I was like, oh, I gotta learn how to do this air move really quick and do the race with it. You're not gonna score in the top 3 if you don't do the air thing. So it was a lot of like I was really beating my head against that one for a little while. But I think I appreciate the races.
I also
they're usually very hard.
Yes. I also really appreciated the bosses. Like they were also creative. Neither of you saw the Guitar Hero boss, did you?
No, I was about to
actually play Guitar Hero.
Basically, there are notes coming down the track, and you are jumping tracks to stay in front of the notes.
Yeah, I met that boss, and then I was like, "There's not enough time. I'm not gonna be able to see that."
And that fight's super cool. I love that they do. It starts with just notes on the track, and you're jumping around. There's a monorail section where you're swinging side to side in time with it. There eventually are 3 groups of tracks, and so you have to jump between the tracks, not just switch tracks. And then there's an entire section where it's basically ice, so you're free moving instead of locked on rails, which is great. Yeah, all the boss battles are so creative. The levels are huge for those usually too. There's usually a lot of like changing scenery when you fight those bosses, and it just looks so cool every time. All right, I think that means, Pete, it's time for you to choose our next game.
Been sitting on that one for about an hour and a half, haven't you, Gino?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I've made an executive decision, and y'all are along for the ride on this one. So live with it. I've decided we are exclusively a train podcast from now on.
Oh, no.
Yeah!
What other train games are there?
Good news. There's one that came out 10 years ago. So I want to play Mini Metro.
Ooh.
Mini Metro.
Take a second. Look it up. I'll describe it for the listeners. Mini Metro is a puzzle game.
Haven't we played this already?
No. Did we?
No.
Did we?
No, we played...
I own this.
We played a game about making
Door
highways.
Yeah. Yes, I do remember the...
Yeah.
Okay, highways.
Actually, that's a good point. I've chosen now 2 build trains games. But in Mini Metro, it's your job to design the subway layout for a growing city. Not only that, you can also design subways in 20 real-life cities. I think sounds pretty cool.
Wow.
This game's gonna drive me up a wall. I can
100%.
feel it.
Want to know how to win? Find some slime mold. We'll do it for you.
Slime mold. Oh, because, yeah. Okay.
Amazing. This looks great. Puzzle game about subways. Sick. All right, well, next time we will be playing Mini Metro. Thank you, Pete.
Yeah, good pick, Gino. I think if I can speak for all of us, I think we all enjoyed it.
Eventually, we'll have to play Mixtape, but we avoided it. At the last second, we switched rails. Got on Denshattack instead. Thank you, Em.
Thank you. I think we've enjoyed this a lot more than we were going to enjoy Mixtape, but maybe someday we'll face that.
Maybe. And thank you, dear listeners. Reminder, you can get in touch with the show. deeplistenspodcast@gmail.com is our email address. deeplistens.libsyn.com. That's where we host the show. deeplistenspodcast.bluesky.social. That is our social media account. And patreon.com/deeplistens. You can support the show directly. Until next time, peace.